This month on Rebel Yum, we're celebrating a very special birthday. Pokémon is turning 30. How better to celebrate than by having our very own Pokémon Battle cooking competition? We've brought on 2 Pokémon trainers ready to duke it out in the kitchen with their own Pokémon-themed meal. It's spice versus sweet. It's youth versus experience.
Sand attack!
It's a Pokémon battle with food. Rebel Yum is proud to present our challengers.
Well, I'm Youngster Chase. I'm 33 years old. I'm from Cherry Grove City in Johto.
I'm Ace Trainer Sam. I'm from Lily Cove City in Hoenn. Yeah, I'm basically here to kick some ass. Sorry, can I say that?
I came here today to cook a meal that would make my family proud, that would make my party proud.
Just checking out your drip.
Oh yeah, you like my thing. I am in the full Poke branded getup. You know, I got my Poke jacket, I got my Poke hat. Yeah, and these are, you know.
You got your Poke Nikes?
Yeah, lots of all my Pokees.
Why do they call you a youngster?
Because I'm young at heart, and I'm young in faith, in my Pokemon. So, people get a young energy when they're around me.
Does it have anything to do with your shorts?
Probably. They're gym shorts. They're cozy, and they're comfortable, and they're breezy. So it helps me kind of run, which is, people tell me, a childlike quality of mine.
A lot of people claim I came fully prepared with proof. You know, a lot of people here like to claim, they say, oh, I'm an Elite Four challenger. Oh, I've done the Elite Four this many times. I say, where's your badges? Prove it. See these babies? I polish them every day. Yeah. So you know I ain't playing. I'm here to win. Choo, my boys. You want to talk about my boys, my team? Got Alakazam, #1, right? I mean, heavy hitters, psychic types. You got to throw Flygon in there, right? I mean, flying ground, I mean, that's equal types coverage.
We got an Infernape. We got a Venusaur.
Probably Frostlass. I'm gonna say also if you want to do a little ice type in there.
Garchomp. Walrein.
Arcanine. Straight fire. Straight fire.
Staraptor. Lucario.
And then what do I got? 2 more? Not like I really need them. Raichu. Aggron. I'm planning on making a very traditional style Darumaka tomato soup. Nice and warm, nice and hearty, red, just like the Pokemon itself. I'm gonna make cheddar croutons with baguette. And you know what Pokemon is most well known for? Baguettes and making baguettes. Neither do I.
All right. We're making the Dragonite butternut squash gnocchi. And I got my Dragonite butternut squash here ready to go. So, come with me on this journey. You know, my idea about being a good Pokemon trainer, what makes a good Pokemon trainer? Do you have to be naturally talented? No, I don't think so. I think the best thing a Pokemon trainer should be good at is bobbing and weaving. Like, being ready for any situation and overcoming using their skills. This is beyond me, but I came to this competition to win, and I'm gonna do my best.
Anyway, I'm gonna start cutting up this baguette into chunks from the sounds of it. And yeah, we're gonna get it all mixed up in a nice bowl with some of our special salts and seasonings.
So what the recipe wants me to do is, it's got me cutting this thing in half. So we're gonna take half a butternut squash. So I gotta cut this boy in half. So start by cutting here. Cool. Yeah, you can see. I'm not used to cutting squashes, as I'm not very good at it. but doesn't mean the food won't come out tasting beautifully.
Cutting up some nice croutons. This is one of the first hidden moves that every Pokemon can learn. HM1. Cut.
You kind of flush up a gourd with a steak knife.
Just you wait till I get to Flash.
There we go. Okay. Now that's not very symmetrical, and I've got a really bad feeling about this.
I think that's.
And I like to save the bread nub for the Pokemon on my team who it's leftovers. You know, this is a little known trainer battle fact. If you give your Pokemon a little bit of leftovers, they will actually recover a little bit of HP every turn. That's true.
I told you, I'm gonna cut my fingers off.
Specialty Pokemon Sizzle garlic salt. And I do have several different types of this. No free promotion, of course, no free promotion, but I love my special olive oils. I have my Sizzle, my Frizzle for high heat cooking, of course, and then I also have my Drizzle, which is to go on after. So this is a finishing olive oil, and all three of them are good for different purposes. You know, so you gotta have a fully stocked olive oil cabinet. You need a lot of space to work here.
Shit! I knew this part was gonna be ridiculous, but this has gone worse than I ever imagined.
Easy.
Am I?
Make it look easy. Honestly.
I don't want to see what hard looks like then. Jesus.
Cheddar cheese. Gotta have your cheese. My cheese is in the fridge. I gotta go. Oh. Nice brick of Miltank Classic aged Colby.
Because we're just gonna cook them like this first. I am gonna allow some of the heat and some of the seasoning that we're gonna add on to it to go in there. Don't know if it'll really do too much, but I'd rather try and be a little wrong than not and had been right the entire time.
Yeah, nice and good in that mixture there. We'll let them soak some of that up. Toss their buddies into.
We're gonna put them over here on the baking pan. Okay, I'm gonna use some of Sam's Crazy Fun olive oil, because why not?
One is way thicker than the other. They're not gonna cook evenly.
Sure aren't. Guess we'll see what happens.
I'm shaking it up in my Hello Skitty Tupperware container.
Using an earthquake attack. We use TMs too. We can use TMs and HMs.
I'm just so scared.
I'm gonna get the prime video footage. Tear it with thine hands.
Easier for me. Okay. Now those slits don't really count for much, but here we are. Nice orange, my second favorite color. Oh.
What's your first favorite color, Trainer Chase?
Blue. Blue actually is my favorite color. And interestingly enough, blue version is my first Pokemon game that I ever got. Yeah, it was summer of '99. I had my Game Boy Color, and my mom and dad and sister and I went to some mall, what I believe was Altoona, but at the time Altoona was so far. It was like this make-believe land, and I convinced my mom into buying me Pokemon Blue, which I'd known about Pokemon at this point in time. I just didn't have the games yet, and man, did I learn a lot about myself playing that first Pokemon Blue version. One thing was I learned all about saving. Pokemon was the game that taught me to save in a video game. So that's something. And I had been playing video games for a long time, so whew.
Sam, favorite Pokemon type?
Inclined, I want to say psychic, because there's a lot of psychic types that I really vibe with. But ultimately, I think it's bug. I think it's bug type.
Scyther! So just olive oil and sauce for the butternut squash part. Sprinkle some on there. And my oven is already preheated, I believe. So I will put these puppies in, and they sit in for like an hour to an hour and a half. So while that's cooking, I will be working on some other portions of the butternut squash gnocchi. Here we go.
How many years have you been dabbling in the kitchen?
Oh, since I was a youngster myself. I remember when I put together the idea for a peanut butter Nutella banana sandwich, and then I added marshmallow fluff on top of that. So that's a true story.
Wow.
Yeah. I loved me a little bit of the sweet stuff. But as I've grown, I think I enjoy cooking more to baking, and the sweet savoriness, it allows me to be a little bit more flexible, a little more versatile. I've always said this is a vibes kitchen, and we practice the appropriate amount of food, health, and safety.
There you go. And use your thumbnail if you have to.
Remember, I'm a youngster.
I know. We're teaching. This is an educational kitchen.
We didn't chop a lot of onion in Cherry Grove City.
There weren't lots of onions to chop. There were lots of cherries, though, I'll bet.
It's not going well, though. We started well, fell apart at the end. That's okay. That's okay, because the fun of this show is you just kind of gotta get into it.
I'm into it.
Oh, shit, I'm sorry.
Into it.
It was always gonna end up like this.
We're about to pop these little shits in the oven for 10 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
And in they go. Done and done, baby. Let's get started on that soup.
Spray a little of this on. Whoa.
That'll do you.
That'll do me well.
That'll do
Thank
you
you. Thank you. We'll get this one chopped up and then
Maybe throw those onions in there so you have some more space to work.
get them started.
But you can also scrape them off the cutting board.
Nah. I want to feel. I wanna feel my work.
What seems to be the problem here?
No problem. I've run into something in the recipe that is just a little bit outside of my usual comfort zone. Instead of slicing these tomatoes, and I'm taking a bit of a risk here by doing this because this is the first time I've ever done this. We're whole roasting these tomatoes. And we're gonna coat them with a little olive oil and salt, and we're gonna whole roast them in the oven for about 45 minutes. And then we're gonna add them to the pot with the garlic and everything else, and we're gonna blend it, and it's gonna be a great tomato soup. And I'm confident that it will be a great potato soup. So get ready for more, trainers.
All right, we got the onions and the garlic cloves all put together nicely. Sauteing them a bit, give them a good frying before we give them a good grinding.
See? We're not animals. We have tools.
Pokemon.
We're not Pokemon either. Except for that one dude, Bill. He turned into a Pokemon that time. Look at that. That is beautiful. Beautiful.
So the thing we're gonna do with that now is it has to cool. It has to cool a little bit. And then once it's cool, I'm gonna skin it. Throw that in with the, I keep calling it the grinder, the blender. We gotta put it in the blender, then we gotta put all the other stuff in the blender, and while everything's in the blender, that's when we put the gnocchi in.
Honestly, and if we're talking about it, and we should talk about it, I think Bill stole a lot of his PC organizational work from other sources. I think he stole most of that research, and I think he put his own name on it. And I think the only reason we call it Bill's PC is because we've been erasing the true creator and well, I mean founder. I think Lynette deserves her credit.
Lynette?
Lynette's PC Gen 3.
Oh,
See, you haven't even heard of it.
sorry. I don't keep up with it
It's
after
alright.
Bill.
It's alright. It's just like, you know, women don't get any of the credit.
Alright, we got the onions and stuff in. I'm just finishing up getting the butternut squash. We skinned it. I skinned it. And now we're getting it in the blender. This is the part where we get to blend all the... What I think is going to make this whole thing just taste the greatest is the sauce that we're adding to the gnocchi. So, get a little view in there. And, yeah. Now it's time to boil up some gnocchi. Wish me luck.
I mean, these happy little tomatoes are so ready to be, you know, slathered and salted and stuffed in the oven. So, you know, since we're going a little bit higher temp with this one, we're gonna use the frizzle, the high heat. No free advertising.
No, forget it.
No free advertising. There we go. And that, coupled with a little bit of salt and pepper and some garlic, we'll be in business.
Alright, water's boiling. Time to get that gnocchi. Ooh, that's gonna splash and burn. We're gonna do this safely. The slow and steady wins the race. Remember, I'm a youngster. Woo! That was not perfect. Woo! Okay, I'm just gonna dump it. There we go. There we go. There we go. Gnocchi's in. Gnocchi's in. So we gotta let that boil. I'm gonna add a little bit more salt to the water, because why not? More flavor, less problems. Okay, okay. Yeah, whatever. We'll just use that. That's fine. Stir that up. Let that sit. So now I gotta get this pan ready to go, because it's gonna, you know, fry up butter. I gotta get the gnocchis out. I gotta gnocchi out. It's a KO, as they say in Pokemon.
Look at these happy little. They look like little Voltorbs upside down, or little electrodes upside down.
They kind of look like the Pokemon that your soup is named
Like
after.
Darumaka.
Yeah.
Now I get it. Now I get why they call it that.
Ace trainer, not ace thinker.
I bet it'll look even more like him after we stuff him in the oven, whole roast him, and come back in 45 minutes. So look forward to it.
Okay. Oh wow, the butter's already kind of melted from just sitting so close to all this stuff. So it's set an amount. I'm not really measuring because why? You know, why? They're guidelines. They're more like guidelines, directions. I can mess with them the way I see fit. And this is how I see fit. So I'm gonna get the butter in there and we're just gonna get that nice and going. Is this one even on? I don't think this one's even on.
So these little crispy things are out of the oven. They're about as golden brown as the fur on a Fido's back.
I was thinking of like feathers of a ho-oh.
Mm-hmm. It's a little more, going a little more classic with that reference.
Mm-hmm.
I was trying to keep it relevant and current too for the newer Pokemon fans.
Yeah, no, it's good to have both.
Fido is Sword and Shield, am I correct?
I think you're correct.
Well, not that it matters much. Nobody played those games anyway. But we've got a nice little bowl of homemade crispy croutons. And those will go great in the soup.
All right, it's time to blend up all our stuff, all of our seasonings, all of our garlic, all of our onions, and all of our butternut squash to make for the gnocchi butternut sauce.
All right, cameras weren't rolling, but I got a little bit of pressed garlic here. We're about to throw this into the crock pot. I added a little bit of extra spicy pepper in mine too, because I wanted to give this a little bit of extra kick. So we can say it's a spicy Daruma tomato soup. But a little bit of garlic. Fun fact, garlic's one of the actual few vegetables out there with naturally blue coloration. And if you cook it at certain acidities, you can actually reveal that coloration. So cooking with garlic, just call me Blue. And we're about to throw this into the pot.
I didn't want me to blend it too much, but I'm a guy that probably wants my sauce a little more blended than less. Yeah, we're gonna give it a little bit more of a go. There we go. So we'll add that on at the end once the gnocchi's ready.
Favorite Pokemon?
Fuck!
Loaded question. Any gen. Of all 1,000 motherfuckers.
Like you want to pick something cool, but not something, that's like, overpicked.
I mean, it's your favorite Pokemon, so it doesn't matter.
I like Scrafty.
Interesting.
Bitch pulling his pants up all the time. I don't know. He was a cincher of mine back in the day.
Gotcha.
I used him a lot. Good combination moveset. You don't see a lot.
You excited to use a Mega Scrafty
Does he exist?
in Legends ZA?
Does he exist?
Mm-hmm.
Shit, I haven't even seen this guy yet.
Alright, so I'm gonna get this butternut squash just right in there. This is gonna be this is the moment. Ooh. Ooh, yes. Yeah. Look at the color of that sauce. Remind you of anyone? Dragonite. It's Dragonite's skin if it was melted down. But in a beautiful kind of food sort of way.
Looking pretty tasty here. I think it's about time we open it up. You can see just a nice little char on the skins here, and the way that they've been split. Right there, man. Those tomatoes are our ticket to first place.
I'm really looking forward to stirring this up, and I really think my Dragonite can put up a hell of a fight against Sam's Darumaka. That's what it's called. Ooh, so we just let this cook for a little bit, and that is basically the whole cooking process, and then it's gonna be time to battle off, I'd say. Might add some seasoning to the top of it to make it look a little more pretty. But, yeah. Dragonite butternut squash, friends and folks.
Sam, first Pokemon game.
Well, Pokemon Blue.
Pokemon
Blue? Yeah, original Blue.
Mm-hmm.
There was no other.
When did you get it?
That's the timer telling me these are done.
Oh, shut up.
Yeah, shut up. Well, it's getting just a little hot with the grease on the pan, but when did I get it? I was elementary aged, so first grade? Probably first grade. Still at that point where you know how to read a lot of words, but not every word. And so, yeah, getting through the beginning was a bit of a struggle, but, just adding these delicious looking mates into here. And we're gonna let them slow cook a little bit more in the pot before we take everything and blend it up. So we got our garlic, we got a little bit of peppy in there. And now we're adding this. The delicious tomato soup is on its way. So, yeah, Pokemon Blue, I guess first Pokemon would have been Squirtle then, because, he was a Blastoise. It was on the cover. You couldn't not pick him. It just made too much sense to pick him. And, I wonder whatever happened to that Squirtle.
Hot and steamy soup.
So, Chase, Youngster Chase. Boy, you sure did have an uphill battle this competition, didn't you?
It was a little scary at times, yeah.
It seems you lost your hat and everything.
I lost my hat. I mean, it gets heated up in the kitchen, so you gotta be ready to take your hats off, your clothes off,
Absolutely.
if need be.
Well, we're glad it didn't come to that. Now, Chase, did you find it was embarrassing at all learning that you did not know how to cut any vegetable?
I found that to be a big challenge throughout a lot of it because, as you saw, most of it was me cutting things. So I really had to really figure it out.
You really got in there.
Mm-hmm. But just like I said before about a Pokemon trainer, Pokemon trainers have to figure things out on the fly, and I had to. And it was do or die.
You sort of mangled that butternut squash.
That's a good way to put it.
Into submission.
I mangled it.
Yes.
Yeah.
You made it faint.
Mm-hmm.
And same with the onion.
Same with the onion,
It tried to slip away,
mm-hmm.
but unfortunately, you were too persistent.
Well, I'm not gonna give up. I'm not somebody who gives up.
You chopped it too fine.
Yeah, but at least my fingers, I didn't cut my fingers off. It gets real scary for me. I don't want to cut my fingers off.
Thank God for that.
Thank God for that.
Thank Pokemon God for that.
Thank Arceus.
He still has his fingers.
So I have in front of me Dragonite, gnocchi, and what is the point of the tomato soup?
That's Darumaka tomato soup.
And what is a Darumaka?
It's a little fire type guy.
It's a little fire type guy.
Looks
Okay.
like a tomato. That's.
Let me. I feel like the gnocchi. I gotta wait for the gnocchi. Let's do this. It's a very wet soup.
You like to see it. Now remember, you're judging as if it's a Pokemon battle.
It's a little spicy.
Mm-hmm.
Taking damage.
Mm-hmm. Inflecting burn?
Slightly. Slightly.
Okay.
Lowest level of burn.
And Pokemon, you're either burnt or you're not.
Ooh. Okay.
Good?
It's very good. It's got a little bit of a kick. You gotta wait for it, but it comes.
Interesting.
And the Dragonite gnocchi. Let me get another one.
Okay.
That is pretty good.
Dun, 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 dun.
I love a butternut squash.
Mm-hmm,
It is very delicious.
Mm-hmm.
Let me taste the soup one more time.
Okay.
It's the battling. It's the fucking thrill of the fight of it all that just gets me, dude. There is not a battle that can happen to me in a different video game. Like the way the rage just goes through me sometimes. When I'm Pokemon battling, I'm fucking in it. So yeah, it's the battling. It's the battling. It's a video game. That's what you do in them. Speaking from the heart, I think it's the friendships that you make. And not just with your virtual digital monsters, but the people that you can geek out about Pokemon with. And, you know, when you're playing on the elementary school playground and, you know, you're just learning the basics, you know. And I'll always remember the first time that I learned how to throw a Pokeball, how to go into your bag menu and actually use it. And, you know, because if you couldn't read as a kid, you know, you sort of were teaching yourself along the way. And so maybe you had some friends who could help you do that and people you could trade with. And I think, yeah, Pokemon has inspired a lot of long-lasting friendships within my life.
And now, guest star, judge, gym leader, Electric type Kieran announces the winner
Okay.
right now.
Okay. It was a tough call. I enjoyed both meals. After being enlightened to what the themes were behind the two, it made me enjoy it more and understand your decisions better. I have to say, between the gnocchi and the tomato soup, I'm gonna have to go with the tomato soup.
Yes!
It was, it could have been a little thicker, but it had a lot of, like, punch. It had a lot of flavor. I thought the gnocchi was really good, but without the spice, where it's just kind of sweet, it just wasn't doing it for me completely. But together, it's like if you eat them really fast together, they taste really good. That's
Hey, looks like you just got a long way to go. No problem. I want you to have this. A Pikachu? He'll help you on your journey. Good luck, kid.
Thanks.
I'm glad I won the tomato soup competition. I don't think it was necessarily a fair judgment, but I think just like all things, maybe the parts make up the whole. I think Pokemon is like that, if you really think about it. Maybe. I think Pokemon can be about whatever you want it to be about, because there's so goddamn many of them.
30 years. That's awesome to know that Pokemon has been around and just killing it for 30 years. Take them or leave them. They changed the world, and I want to say happy birthday. Happy 30th birthday to Pokemon. I'm looking forward to see where we're at in 30 more years from now with Pokemon. Can't imagine my life without Pokemon. Happy birthday.
Pokemon is turning 30 years old this year, and that's as old as I am now. So I have basically never lived in a world without Pokemon. So that's saying something. Happy birthday, Pokemon.